All right, I wanted to go over another option for creating persistent tabs or states across multiple slides and scenes. Working with the interaction notebook template that's available in our downloads, you'll see that initially this was just loading slide layers, and that's really easy, right? So the button states. But what if we wanted to have a sub-navigation where the learners could click through the next buttons maybe, or you had your own nav buttons there. In this case, right, the tab still remains as selected until I click the second tab, which will jump to the second scene. But then the sub-slides will all show this selected state. So we'll use variables in this example. It's a little bit more work, but it's just another option for managing those persistent states. So a couple ways to work with variables. In this case, if I open up my project variables, actually working with a text and only one. I could have set different ways. I could have set a variable for each of the tabs and then evaluated that, but I thought I'd just work with one, and then I'll set this text to the name of the scene, and then from there just evaluate which one is selected. So just one variable, text, right? Now, in this example, when you first insert the slide, everything is on the slide, the base layer, right? I moved everything down here to the slide master. So if I open up one of these, you'll see there's nothing selected. It just makes it a lot easier because you get a lot of extra triggers that you don't want to have to manage when you're just building your content slides. So let me open this up and then show you what's going on. Here's my folder and then the 3 tabs, okay? I'll move this down. You'll see there's no slide layers going on right here. But essentially I have 3 slide triggers, and all I want to do is evaluate which that current variable is set to. And if I select this first tab, you can see right here I have an object trigger that says adjust the variable, and the only one variable here, current tab equals and 1. I just call this 1, 2, or 3 for scene 1, scene 2, or scene 3. So you could, however you want to do it. But whenever they click it, they're going to change that variable to 1. When you click the second one, it's going to set that second tab to 2. Because we're only using one variable, and because a variable can only hold one piece of data, it gets overwritten every time we click one of these tabs. That's why I like this method here. And then slide tab 3 sets it to 3. So this just happens on the trigger level, and this also happens on this second slide, right? It's the same process, right? Each of these triggers just says set the tab equal to 1, set it to 2. Well, on the second slide layout, I actually this is the open layout, right? So it's different. So this is what's applied to all the sub scenes, but the slide triggers are the same. So there's 3 slide triggers that say change the state of rectangle or tab 1, right, to the selected state every time this timeline starts if the current tab is 1. So the condition here is really important. The condition is saying the current tab must equal to 1, then it'll change it. If the current tab is not 1, it just gets ignored. And the next one is current tab equal to 2, and current tab equal to 2. So we're just resetting. Every time we click one of these, we're setting that new that current variable to one of those 3 choices, 1, 2, or 3. And from there, each time the slides load, it will actually go through these and see which one's been clicked. Now up here, right, and for each of these scenes, I would just apply that layout. So in another example, when we just used custom layouts, we just had 3 versions of this, each with a different selected tab. Here we only need 1 because we can do all the evaluation with the variables on the slide master level. So I'll make this available in the forum. If you have any specific questions, we can go through it on a deeper dive. But essentially, just one variable being used to evaluate what scene. If I wanted to add a new scene, you could easily do that, right? I could duplicate this, and I would call this one, quiz. But this is really now going to be 4. So I'd go into my slide master, so F4, make a new tab, and then change things on here to say, well, set the current tab to 4. And then I would want to jump to the quiz, and then I'd also want to do add an extra variable up here just to evaluate. Maybe this is the one that's selected. So it's tab 4 equal to 4, then set the current variable to 4. So make this available, and if you have any questions, just let us know.